Few things in business are more frustrating than working for hours, days, maybe even weeks on a piece of killer content, launching it into the world, and hearing crickets. Well, the key to a successful business blog isn't just content, it's content promotion. What's up? I'm Zach. Welcome to the Mission Driven Impact YouTube channel, where we help impact-driven founders and directors raise awareness by clarifying the message, getting the word out, and building a loyal community of fans and supporters. One of the best ways to do all of those is to start a blog. And in fact, the past two videos, we've talked about business blogging, who it's for, the benefits you can get, why you should consider it, how to get started on the right foot, how to write the right topics. All of that. If you want it, I'll leave the playlist and one of the eyes in the corners. I definitely recommend you check them out. Today, I want to dive right into giving you 3 easy content promotion strategies and one advanced one to help you promote your blog, bring traffic to your website, and get real results from content marketing for your business. Now, I put out 2 videos a week, so before we start, like and subscribe. That way you don't have to miss out. Strategy number 1 is to leverage existing channels. Now, this might be common sense or common knowledge, but I promise you it's not common practice. It amazes me how many people work really hard putting this stuff out, but then they don't even use the channels they already have to promote it. So if you're just starting a blog, make sure that you email your email list every time you put out a new blog. Make sure that you're posting the links to that on your social media. Put it in your email signature. I mean, you got to get creative with ways to whatever channels you already have, whatever channels people are already seeing, start promoting your blog there, and you're going to see results a little bit more quickly. Strategy number 2 is manual outreach. Now, if you listen to people in the link building world or a lot of SEO wizards, it's going to get quickly complicated, and there's all these theories and tactics that you can do with manual outreach. Let me simplify it for you. Close your eyes, think about who would be interested in reading, sharing, or linking to what I just wrote, and then email them and tell them about what you just wrote. That's kind of the basics of it. And of course, you can break down this into a lot of different nuances, but that's the core idea. For instance, did you write that blog post with a certain person in mind? Well, email them to tell them that. Are there other newsletters in your industry who would be interested in syndicating or sharing your content? Are there other big resources in your industry? And a lot of times, these big like Ultimate Guides or whatever will have recommended reading from other sites at the bottom as a way to serve their readers. Well, email the author and say, hey, I think that this link, would be a great addition for these reasons. Another powerful tip for when you created content that you either saw your competitor have success with a piece of content and you wanted to create something better, or you created something in response to something else that happened in your industry, what you can do is use a tool like Ubersuggest. There are free versions and paid versions of Ubersuggest, and you can see who all has linked to that original piece of content. So let's say that your competitor puts out a piece of content and person A has linked to it. Now you've created a piece that's just like this piece of content, but it's even better. It addresses the gaps. It's better in some way. And so you can actually see person A that they've linked to that content. You can email them and say, hey, I've actually created a better version of this content, or I've created something in response to the content, or I've created something that complements this content. And a lot of times you'll find that they share it or feature it right alongside, or sometimes even instead of that original piece of content. So that's a pretty sneaky tactic, but it's a really powerful one to use. Strategy number 3 is to interact with already existing communities. Now you'll find a lot of times, whether it happened organically or through a tribe leader or some sort of influencer, people have already done a lot of the legwork to gather an audience in one place that's highly targeted for your business. That doesn't mean that everyone in this community is your ideal client, but there's a big overlap. Let's say, for instance, I'm a motorcycle mechanic. I don't know where that example just came from. But let's say I'm a motorcycle mechanic. I might start checking out car and auto forums, magazines for cars and things like that, because I know that a lot of people who might need what I need, they might also be frequenting these places. Facebook groups, of course, are the big example here. They drive a lot of engagement, and there's a Facebook group for just about everything. See where your people are hanging out. Don't like knock the door down and just start spamming people in this group. Don't make it all about you. Actually become a part of this community. Interact with the members of this community. Add value, and you're going to see those results come back to you when you become their trusted advisor, when your business becomes the authority on what they're doing, because you're actually there in the trenches with them. Reddit is another great one. There are people who have built 6-7 figure businesses off of certain subreddits. Niche forums, I think I've told the story before about a person I know who has built a 7-figure business off of poker forums. It is not, his business doesn't have anything to do with poker. He just knew that a lot of people that he could serve, a lot of people who were in his target audience, they were hanging out on poker forums. So again, your imagination is the limit. You got to get creative. Where is your target audience hanging out? Go to them, interact with them, and start saying, hey, I've been producing all this content just for you. Boom, content promotion. All right, if you leverage existing channels, do manual outreach, and interact with already existing online communities, that's enough for, you could probably take that through the entire longevity of your blog. If you do want to step it up a notch and get a little bit more advanced, then my strategy number 4 is paid ads and SEO. Now you got to be really careful with both of these. With paid ads especially, you can just instantly just throw money down the drain and never see it again. It can be very dangerous financially. It can be very beneficial financially, but you got to make sure you know what you're doing. You got to make sure you have other things in place first. Make sure your offer is solid. Make sure that traffic can get people to your site. But then if your site isn't optimized, then you got to build from the bottom up. With SEO, less of a money issue, especially if you're doing it manually, and more, again, you just want to make sure that you are actually spending that time, spending that energy, promoting something that deserves to be promoted, that's optimized to convert. You definitely don't want to be doing SEO on everything you ever do, despite what a lot of SEOs will tell you, because it could just be a huge waste of time. Over time, we want to become more efficient at what we're doing. We want to take ourselves out of the equation of promotion. We either want someone to be doing promotion for us, or we want some sort of automatic process around it so that we can spend more time actually creating stellar content, interacting with our communities, keeping up and driving engagement, etc., etc. So I definitely recommend, if you're not an expert at this, or if it's not your job to become an expert at this, hire it out. Use a place like Upwork or Fiverr to hire contractors or freelancers. Hire an agency. For instance, my agency does all SEO and paid ads for you. So you don't even have to worry about it. And that's just included with what we do. We're not an ad agency. We're not an SEO agency. It's just part of the promotion of what we do. So again, find a way to hire that out. That is definitely the next step, but don't jump to that. Make sure that you're really solid on manual promotion. Make sure that you're really solid on everything else that comes before you start channeling a bunch more time or a bunch more money into it. Hope that makes sense. Content promotion, for one reason or another, can definitely be a bit of a stumbling block for a lot of people, but it is critical, non-negotiable, just completely essential, not just for squeezing out all the value you can out of what you've produced and what you've worked for, but to actually make sure that it doesn't go to waste. I saw this all the time when I was a copywriter full-time. It was my job to produce content, but it wasn't my job to promote it. And the truth is, most of the times, it wasn't anyone's job to promote it. And so, I was getting paid, but I was watching my work just completely go to waste, and people kind of scratching their head thinking, I just hired this copywriter, why am I not getting these results? You've got to have promotion locked in. Now, the best way, I'm getting passionate about it, the best way to make sure that you're on the right track, to make sure that you're doing things that are going to get you results, to shortcut that learning curve, is to seek expert guidance and personalized support. If that's something that you're into, I've got a 12-week one-on-one coaching program that takes impact-driven founders and executive directors from, I always say, from wherever you are to wherever you need to be. But it's really from, if you don't even know what marketing is, you need to be stepping up your game, you're just not sure where to start. In 12 weeks with personalized support, we're going to build out every single thing you need to have a content marketing system that works in the background while you sleep, bringing the right people to you on autopilot, whether that's customers, clients, donors, or something else. So I'll leave a link down in the description. Book a call with me, 30 minutes of your time. I'm just going to listen to you and then write the prescription as to how to move your business forward, whether that's with me or with someone else. I'm definitely going to let you know, so you can't lose. Book a call with me. I'll see you in the next one.